recording. Because they rehearse on Monday nights, and I'm here.
You got the gig.
So.
Memorial Day by Jingo, you,
Well,
then you did it.
theoretically, you did. I don't think there's a lot of communication, but I don't think it takes away from
No, I
Meal,
get it.
lunch for volunteers and family members, so that's more than that. I think.
It's actually about 2 hours.
Hi, Mark.
I do.
Good, how are
I do.
you? Just suggest
Jason, if
that.
you're
I
ready.
feel like we go.
Yep, we're good.
experts on them.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this meeting of the Mount Vernon City Council. And for the call to order, the next item is to approve the agenda. And again, we have item E1 and G1 that are not ready to talk about yet, so we're going to leave that table. But that is all I have.
Move approval as presented.
The
proclamation time.
Well, I was going to say that, if Paul can wait just a second. Moving H up to probably in front of G. Just take us a minute. So,
Move approval with that amendment.
thank you, gentlemen. Moved and seconded to approve the agenda with a couple changes. And if we're ready to vote on that, all in favor of that motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. This is the communications time of the meeting. Anybody is here to speak to the council on an agenda item that's already on the agenda, just wait till that comes up. If you have anything to speak to the council about, it's not on the agenda now, it's time to come to the open mic and introduce yourself and speak. Anybody here to do that? It's not. Then we'll move to consent agenda. We've got 6 items. Any explanation needed on these? Pretty self-explanatory. What will the council on the consent agenda?
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you, Art.
Second.
Second. Scott, moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. All in favor of that motion, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? That motion carries. And now we are to public hearing E2. Public hearing for the adoption of plans, specifications, formal contract, and estimate of costs for the Bryant Road Sanitary Sewer Project. Open the public hearing officially now. Is anybody here to speak to that? Any comments to City Hall? Officially close that public hearing on E2 and proceed to G2. Resolution 61-2026A, adopting plan, specifications, formal contract, and estimate of costs for the Bryant Road Sanitary Sewer Project. A lot of bidders. And good price.
Yeah, 9 bids were received. The engineer's estimate was about $370,000. So the bid of $286, $694.80 by Brecky comes in handy because we still have to purchase the actual easement rights. So I think all total, when we go through with the purchase of the actual easement, to get through the property, it'll be close to $370 again. Working with Dave and B&K to set up what's called a connection district, so that if and when that property were to ever develop, they could recuperate some of the cost of this project from the developer at that time. But so everything gets incorporated. The main purpose of putting this in for the time being, obviously, is to service the public workshop.
First, we vote to adopt the plans, and then we vote to accept the bid.
Correct.
So with that, I would move approval of Resolution 6-1-2026A, adopting plans, specs, form of contract, and estimate of costs for the Bryant Road Sanitary Sewer Project.
Thanks, Scott. Give us your first step. And Paul. It's moved and seconded to move forward with resolution G2, and then a roll call vote. Kimberly Marsh.
Turler,
Yes.
Hanson Player. Yes. Engel,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Andreessen.
Yes.
That resolution passes. Moving to G3, Resolution 6/1/2026B, making the award of the construction bid for materials, construction, and installation of the Bryant Road sanitary sewer project.
You've obviously used, I pronounce this correctly, Brecky before your.
Yeah.
Yeah, some
Nice
extra
guys.
cookies.
Because far and away the best bid, so.
Honestly, we've used probably over
Whichever
half of these
outlets.
contractors would have been happy with any of them, but
Okay.
Interestingly, Chris and I had a meeting with Superintendent Maishai this afternoon, and a question came up, the issue came up is, with all the data centers coming in, is the population of tradespeople and materials and so on, is that driving up the construction market? That few people, are there fewer contractors bidding on projects, or they're having a hard time staffing projects? And even with all that other operations going on in the county, it obviously hasn't impacted this bid at all on the financial level or the number of bidders, so that's good. Could be a concern down the road.
I would move approval of resolution 6-1-2026B, resolution making award for the construction bid for materials, construction, and installation of the Bryant Road sanitary sewer project.
Thank you, Paul. Second. Moved and seconded to move forward with 6/1/2026B. And that, again, is a roll call vote.
Andreessen,
yes.
Turler,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Hanson Player,
Yes.
Engel.
Yes.
Resolution passes. G4, Resolution 6/1/2026C, approving disposal of city-owned property. This is one piece, if I remember correctly.
The dump truck.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect much. Cool.
You could put it in the park and the kids would play on it. They'd have
Set a little tennis booth right next to it.
I'd be nervous that somebody would go
Chris
through
just had
it.
an audible reaction.
I know.
to Liability.
Do you think those old Davis Park playground equipment installation?
When I grew up in Iowa City, there was a fire truck in the city park, and I loved it.
Yeah, we'll try the normal process, but don't be surprised if that ends up being scrap metal.
Well, I would move approval of resolution 6-1-2026C, approving the disposal of the dump truck.
Thank you, Craig. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Sure.
Give it to Shereen there. Craig and Shereen is moved and seconded to move forward with resolution 6/1/2026C. Elton put a lot of lipstick on it. Again, that is a roll call vote, and we are ready to vote.
Engel,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Turler,
Yes.
Hanson Player,
Yes.
Andreessen.
Yes.
That resolution passes. Next, G5, resolution 6/1/2026D, accepting work for the project known as the 2025 Uptown Lighting Improvements Project with Nelson Electric.
And this then goes down to J5 for the final payment, is that correct?
Yeah, so you're accepting these, and there's a waiting period, but we always approve the resolution accepting the work and the last payout, just so that it can be released when it's legally allowed.
Thanks.
Total contract is $498, $750.91. Really nothing surprising there. We added some conduit soak to a change order. Originally we borrowed $500,000, so it came in about what we expected.
And the line stepped up for around $1 million on that project,
Correct.
$1.5 value.
I'd move approval of resolution 6-1-2026D, accepting the uptown lighting project.
Mark, moved and seconded to go forward with 6/1/2026D, and then there's a roll call vote for Marcia.
Rose,
Yes.
Engel,
Yes.
Hanson Player,
Yes.
Andreessen,
Yes.
Turler.
Yes.
That resolution passes. Now we're at H, mayoral proclamation. This is June, and got a proclamation that I'll read now, and I can forward this to you, Nathan, if you need it. Otherwise, you can pull it out of the minutes, I guess. So, City of Mount Vernon, Iowa, Pride Month proclamation. Whereas the mayor of Mount Vernon recognizes and proclaims the month of June as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer Pride Month, throughout the city of Mount Vernon. And whereas the rainbow flag is widely recognized as a symbol of pride, inclusion, and support for social movements that advocate for LGBTQ plus people in society, and whereas all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights, LGBTQ plus individuals have had a measurable impact to our cultural, civic, and economic successes of our country. And whereas the city of Mount Vernon is committed to supporting the visibility, dignity, and equality for LGBTQ plus people in our diverse community, and whereas while society at large increasingly supports LGBTQ plus equality, it is essential to acknowledge that the need for education and awareness remains vital to end discrimination and prejudice. And whereas this nation was founded by the principle that every individual has infinite dignity and worth, and the LGBTQ plus community calls upon the people of the city of Mount Vernon to embrace this principle and work to eliminate prejudice everywhere it exists. And whereas celebrating Pride Month influences awareness and provides support and advocacy for the city of Mount Vernon's LGBTQ plus community, and is an opportunity to act and engage in dialogue, strengthen alliances, build acceptance, and advance equal rights. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Thomas M. Weisler, Mayor of the City of Mount Vernon, hereby proclaim the month of June as Pride Month in support of the LGBTQ plus community, dated this first day of June with my signature and seal. So that is entered into the public record.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you all. Motions for approval. J1, claims list. Marcia sent out another one this afternoon.
Spent some money this month.
A little bit.
I went back to look, because I thought, did we spend the same amount? Yes, the same meeting last year. This is when all the notes are due. So, okay.
Big checks in June.
Yeah.
For that very purpose,
The
yeah.
monthly reconciliation in April is awesome, and then you did on the June in there.
So since I'm new, can I just ask, these UMB Bank, 7 of them, they are making payments on loans the city's taken out? Is that
Their
what
bond payment. So UMB Bank was around COVID, prior to COVID, was the bank buying bonds. So they were brokering bonds. They've slowed just a little bit, but most of the debt that we have was purchased through them.
Remind us, is the M Missouri?
Yes.
It was in Kansas City, as I remember.
Yes.
And one note on that, historically, oftentimes, one of the local banks will be a partner in that transaction, so.
So UMB will own the note, collect the money, but they do sell off portions of that bond to other entities. Mount Vernon Bank, Hills Bank have all been purchased before.
Oh, sure, I'm not questioning who the loan is with,
No,
but
yeah.
just, because, yeah, I'm familiar with that with our mortgage and so forth. But just seeing these big expenditures, I was just wanting to understand what it was all about. So these were loans that were taken out, like, for the lighting, would be an example of a recent one?
The dates on.
So the
Yeah, I
most,
see some
Yeah.
old dates, yeah.
so the most recent note that we have would have been for the pool, or no, would have been for Rachel. Rachel would be the last. So we have to, my little packet is upstairs. We had about 9 notes, I believe, 2 of which get paid off this year. We will likely introduce another note. We have 2 more that are coming in the next 2 to 3 years that will be paid off. The longest standing note that we have on the books currently is from 2026 or 2028. That was for sewer projects.
So it'll be paid off in 2028?
Yes. So it
So
was a 20-year.
20 year, yeah.
So it was incurred in 2008, okay,
Correct.
I see.
I would say since I've been here, the average note has been about 12 years. Length. With the exception of water and sewer, if we go through, we will go through the state revolving fund to do water and sewer projects. Those are always 20-year notes, but they do not get bid on the bond market like the rest of the general obligation that does.
So when there is a big project coming up, then we take out a note to fund that, because there's just no money.
Yeah, we don't
in the
have
operating
cash.
budget. Okay,
So we, at any one given time, typically we have about 7 million, roughly, in the bank. That's broken into about 40 different pieces.
sure, yeah.
Our borrowing capacity is about just under 21 million, I believe. And the council historically has taken 20% of that right off the top of our borrowing capacity, set it aside for a rainy day fund. And I want to say we're at about just over 50% of our debt capacity is being used.
Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome.
Just good to know the history.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially when I was like,
Um,
what happened here?
Just write a check for half.
Thanks for asking that question too, because it's always good for us to be refreshed.
I will, there's a report that I give to you every December, but you probably just missed that council meeting, so I will resend that information to you. It shows every note that we have. It shows how much TIF debt we have. I'll send it to you, and then if you have questions, because they're color coded, but
Thank you.
take a look at them, and then they can kind of tell you, you can see when the notes mature. So we have 2 payment sessions. Typically, the one in December is for interest, and then the June payments, interest and all that.
Thank you.
Any other questions about the claims?
I move approval of the claims lists as presented.
Thank you. Moved and seconded to approve the claims list. And if we're ready to vote on that, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. J2 is discussion and consideration of pay application number 5 of Radisson Construction for the Rachel Street improvement. Council action as needed.
Catching up what we overlooked.
Yes, I apologize. I mean, this happens. It's happened like at least 4 or 5 times with B&K. Like, we'll figure out after the fact that we missed a payout. Now this payout was only $1,129.27. So,
A hammer.
not on a $1.3 million project. It's not very big. So, but yes, you have 5 and I believe 7 on there tonight.
I would move approval of pay application 5 for the Rachel Street improvement project at $1,129.27.
Second. So moved and seconded to move forward with pay application number 5. And I noted today that cement block is going up on the car wash side, if I remember correctly. So we're getting out of the ground. Ready to vote on this pay application? All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. J3 is discussion consideration of purchasing the FQ AAA-AX Fire Pro 300 thermal camera, Mount Vernon Fire Department.
This is something the fire department's been looking at. The quote is for $11,424. They've been watching their budget closely to try and save dollars to purchase this. It's one of those large ticket items that it's not necessarily required for them to do their jobs, but it would enhance their ability to do their jobs. So we always try and wait until June, especially with PD and fire, just to make sure that they have space in their budget, and fire has done the legwork and they do. So recommending approval.
I just want to ask a question that it says they've been saving room within their budget to purchase it, but then, so are city dollars came for the whole thing? Are they helping? How's the money working with?
So in this particular situation, I believe city dollars, the city budget is paying for this. A majority of the training facility was donated funds.
Right, I'm just, the way it's worded, that they've been saving room within their budget to
No,
purchase
so-
it.
They have put off other purchases within their approved budget to allow for this to be purchased. So bottom line, if their budget is $297,000, they carved out $11,000 in other line items to just not purchase this year, or try to save that within the general fund, and we're able to do so.
So now the city is going to purchase it, and they can now make the other purchases they need to.
Correct.
Because the city's getting it for them.
Yeah, so it's all within the city's allocated portion of their budget. So their budget is account 297, something like that,
Yeah.
of the general fund. 297,000 roughly is what the fire department's budget is under the general fund. So that general fund is broken into, I'll say, somewhere between 35 and 40 different line items. What I allow department heads to do is, it's the total budget at the bottom, the 297, that concerns myself and Marcia, the individual line items. If they stick $5,000 in one particular line item and don't have a need for it that year, if they have a function or an item that they want to purchase and they haven't used that $5,000, they can use that $5,000 towards the purchases. So what they've done is, out of all of their particular line items, have saved the equivalent of $11,000 to purchase this equipment. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, just depends.
We have a small town volunteer fire department. There's no shirking of the technical equipment and learning, teaching that they pick up. I mean, we're on the cutting edge as much as possible, I'd say that. So
I would say that this moved to the forefront with the training facility construction. So they have a place now to use this equipment and train properly, which moved this forward as far as purchasing goes.
about time.
And vaguely related, but did I see that Rachi helped move the containers?
Not Rachi.
Rachi.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Dara's Towing.
Okay,
Dara's Towing and Coonrod.
okay.
It's Coonrod.
Good, yeah, there we go.
Coonrod
Okay,
and
yeah, I
Darrow's.
knew it was a name that I was familiar with, okay. To get the training facilities, materials in place.
Probably a line.
Yeah.
I think,
I would move approval of the quote QU 03098 in the amount of $11,424 for the FQ AAA-X ProFire 300 for the fire department.
Second.
Bruce, Scott, and Shereen. It's moving second to move forward with thermal camera purchase. No other questions? We're ready to vote on that. All in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next is discussion consideration of the application number 7 with Ratchie on Rachel Street improvement. It's a
This
little
pay
larger bill.
application is definitely more than one. So $300,000,
Right, I know.
$233.67.
We're moving forward out there.
I'd move approval of pay application number 7 for the Rachel Street construction in the amount of $300,233.67.
Big fall. Is there a second?
Second.
Scott. Moving seconded to move forward with the application number 7 with Ratchie. And if no other questions, we're ready to vote on it. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? The motion carries. Now we're back to J5, the application number 5 with Nelson Electric on the 2025 Uptown Lighting Improvement Project, which we already talked about a little bit earlier.
I would move approval of pay application number 5, the 2025 Uptown Lighting Improvement Project at $14,962.52 as the final payment.
Second.
Thank you, Craig and Mark. Moving seconded to move forward with this V&K invoice. And if we are ready to vote on that, all in favor of the motion, please say aye. And opposed? That motion carries. Moving to J6, such consideration of V&K invoice 513877 on the Rachel Street Improvement Project. Council action is needed.
These are both just engineering invoices.
V&K,
Move approval of V&K invoice number 5187-8 Rachel Street Construction Project in the amount of $9,675.65.
Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded to move forward with Rachel Street improvement B&K invoice. And we're ready to vote on that. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. J7, discussion consideration of B&K invoice 51390-3 on the Stonebrook Sewer Extension Project.
I'll move to approve invoice 51390-3, the sewer extension project, in the amount of $18,324.73.
Second?
Craig, moved and seconded to move forward with the next B&K invoice. And we're ready to vote on that. All in favor of that motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. This is through J. No reports, no discussion items. Reports. Mayor's report. I'll comment on three things, basically. The Pride Month proclamation that I did for the city of Mount Vernon, I will be also doing at Nubo on 6/27 when June 27th, when there's a Saturday celebration down there along that same theme for Pride Month. So I will be reciting what we just talked about here. Second thing is Economic Alliance, Juliet, can't think of her last name, who's the head of the Economic Alliance in Cedar Rapids. I'm joining her for a podcast on All Politics is Local. I think that's a grammatical error, but I'm not going to correct her on that. But,
Don't, yeah.
But
Don't go on a podcast and get it in grammar.
yeah, I'm the grammar king, grammar judge. But about what's happening in Mount Vernon, basically, is what that is about. And third thing, probably the most significantly, about how I represented all city council, city workers, and all citizens at the Memorial Day celebration with doing my welcome that I never got a chance to give. So on that note, I sat up there and wondered when I was going to get called next.
You weighed down that chair
When they
really
started,
well.
when they fired the guns, did the national anthem, did the closing prayer from Catherine. I thought, I don't think I'm going to get called.
So that's not the first time that that's happened. Catherine did not get called upon to do the closing prayer. They just let everybody go home. She's like,
We didn't
That
make it.
never happened with Mayor Paul, right? That never happened to him, right? So, rookie year. And I couldn't get his attention.
There were so many technical difficulties with trying to play all the recorded music.
It was a very nice ceremony.
Carlisle went off. Okay.
The choir did an excellent job.
We represented
Yeah,
it.
we did. Almost had a quorum in the choir.
That's my three items as far as mayor's report. Any council reports?
I have a committee report.
Shoot, you're on.
Just to say that the Child Care Solutions, which is Mount Vernon-Lisbon, did a roundup at Fairway. It was a week at Fairway, and we got just a little over $280 for that. And then we did 2 weeks at Gary's, and they were very gracious that allowed us to do it another year, as we did last year. And it was just over $1,800. And so picked up both checks, and we deposited them. And it's been a good fundraising month to celebrate National Child Care Provider Day, which was May 8th. So.
Awesome.
Good. Thank you very much. Any questions, Craig, about the process of the committee?
People in our community are so generous, and the businesses as well, and that needs to be noted. We note it, I guess, all the time, but amazing month.
It's so long term. I really like that. Any other council committee reports? City administrator report. Got a couple items there. Beginning with Ms. Friday.
Yeah, we're a little bit behind on our quarterly potluck, but we try to do that just to get the employees together and take a minute to eat and.
Nice, absolutely, culture. League of Cities. Want to talk any more about visit with Supervisor Maishai?
I thought it was a great visit. There's been some projects that we've been discussing with Wayne County as it relates to fire that were discussed today. And then, of course, economic development, data centers, a number of different sustainable energy items. And so it was overall just a good meeting. One of the first that I've actually had with the board supervisor, kind of a testament to Brandy took the time to come over to Mount Vernon to talk about issues and concerns that we might have, so that was nice.
She reached out to me and she came into town. I was expecting to drive in that you're there, but yeah, and she gave us 2 hours of it,
Yeah.
all the time. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Okay, that's good. We're at the table. Anything else, city administrator?
No, I just would let you know that Joe Harangi was supposed to be here at this meeting and double booked himself, so he'll be at the next meeting, and then Cindy Golding will be at your first meeting in July. Now that the session is over, so.
You got it covered as far as getting on the agenda, okay?
I wanted to ask about that meeting, since it's the day after the 4th, are we changing that date at all?
The July 6th.
That's July 6th.
I'm sorry, 2 days after the 4th, okay, I got my dates myself. So, just seeing this normal then?
I
Okay,
think we'll keep it there, yeah.
I'll be tweeting.
We can do 4 Heritage Days.
Excellent.
I think you guys do that just to make us jealous. They're gonna be in like Huron, you're gonna be Europe.
I'm gonna be in New Hampshire next meeting.
Know that I was like openly inviting
So-
you
So that,
That's the case.
to rub it in even further, but.
So Mark and Craig are both gone next week.
I could probably do it over Zoom.
It would be harder for me to do that.
Yeah, I should be able to.
anybody else is gonna miss the next meeting, we need to.
Yeah,
talk about
I
that,
think
but-
if everybody can just kind of keep us posted as far as that goes, but,
Yeah, it would be 12:30 a.m. for me.
No problem.
Wow.
That is that's the travel. I'll double check. I'll double check before I leave.
That's dedication, Craig. Thanks for being there.
I think we're settled on those meeting dates. Who's here, who's not?
Good.
Anything else that needs to come before this council needs to be discussed? Otherwise, we are adjourned. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
listen,
Somebody
somebody was,